Hi, my name is Vena. I'm originally from Rio, but I live in Nandi. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Bula, I'm John from Kornabuan, Tafua. I love listening to Today FM. It rocks.
Bula, I'm Teopola.
Bula, I'm Agnesi.
We love listening to Today FM because it rocks in Ba.
Hola, my name is Tisal. I've been listening to Today FM.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
Tonight, Fiji qualifies for Cup quarterfinals in Vancouver. LTA employees to declare permits. And national minimum wage rate to be reviewed.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Amrita Sagar.
The Vodafone Fiji Sevens side won 2 of the 3 pool matches in the Vancouver tournament today. The side took a sweet revenge against Wales in its first pool match, then beat Samoa before suffering a defeat against Argentina. Vancouver Prasad with the highlights.
Warmer, get an enormous roar, and now it's game time.
Fiji kicked off the Vancouver Sevens campaign against Wales on a high note. The Wales side were viewed as the biggest threat to the Fijians, but it went the other way. Kalionena Soko scored a brace of tries in the game, while Alifreti Vaitokani and Mesulame Kunavula got a try each in the first half.
Offload finds the wrong man for Wales. The Soko has his second. Polinisau looking to link and finds Vaitokani, then lining it up early on day one.
Fiji led 24-7 at the breather. Second half got tough for the Fijians as Wales made a great comeback.
Morgan.
Nemani Nangusa showed his unique speed as he got Fiji's 5th try before Waisiana Dungu sealed the deal.
Nangusa gets a chance to hit the gas. Beats the scrum. Tuai slips past one defender. Tuai is out of here.
Next up for Fiji were an ever physical Samoan side. 5 minutes into the game and both teams were logged 0-0 before Samoa got its first try.
The dive looked good.
Polinisau leveled the score seconds before the halftime break.
The captain brings Fiji back.
Nasoko gave Fiji a lead before Samoa equalized 12-all.
Try for Fiji. Kaloni Nasoko gets his 3rd in Vancouver.
Chetareki Bituniata scored Fiji's 3rd try.
The cut, then the ball up in the end, then the footwork. Scrag there, Fiji in possession. They should score. Fiji are gonna.
Waisiana Dungu was the hero, making this brilliant try-saving tackle.
What a tackle or push from Nathungu.
Fiji beat Samoa 19-12. In the last match, Fiji were up against Argentina and Vatemo Ravovo scored the first try.
To Ravuvu, out the back. Extraordinary from Nasoko. Nasoko again, he's away, Nasoko. Kalionu Nasoko.
Samiswani Viriviri extended the lead to 24-14 before Argentina got 2 quick tries in the extra time of the second half.
To Osanzuk, and he's over. Is there a chance on the far side? Can they go around? They'll get the try.
Argentina beat Fiji 26-24 and both teams qualified to the quarterfinals of the Vancouver tournament. Vancouver Prasad, FBC Sports.
The Land Transport Authority employees have been asked to fill declaration forms to certify if they have acquired any permits or licenses. It began after a letter was written to the LTA board chairman by the Attorney General's office pointing out serious conflict of interest with former board members, employees and their family members holding public service permits and licenses. Pranita Prakash reports.
The letter was handed to LTA board chair Vijay Maharaj last month, which clearly states that any officer or their immediate family member is prohibited from being holders of PSV permits and licenses.
The management is doing the investigation, and it might take about 4 to 6 days, or maybe just say a week. And once the investigation is complete, we will then send the report to the Attorney General.
Maharaj says necessary steps have been taken to identify employees who acquired PSV permits and license while working at LTA.
We have sent out the declaration forms to all the employees of the LTA to declare whether any of them have any permits under their name, or any of the immediate families have any permits under their names. And it's a question of how you define immediate families. And so once they disclose all that, then we'll be able to compile a report.
The employees have two options, either to surrender their PSV permits and license or resign from LTA. Minister for Infrastructure and Transport Pravin Bala says these changes are for the betterment of all Fijians.
I'm here to see the changes that LTA is doing right now, and we are going to implement that. We also need to see the ordinary Fijians that has been suffering in silence in terms of the service provided by LTA. So these are the changes that is taking place.
There has been a freeze on the issuance of taxi permits since 2011, and the investigation will require digging back prior to the freeze. The authority will also not renew taxi permits or licenses obtained by any former board member or employee while engaged with LTA. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
Meanwhile, the LTA board chair has assured the issues in relation to the traffic infringement notices will be sorted out soon. Minister for Justice and Anti-Corruption Ayaz Sayed Qayyum has criticised the delays in issuing speed fines caught on cameras, saying some of the notices reached the drivers well after the 21-day time frame. Pranita Prakash once again.
LTA chair has admitted there were delays in issuing speed fines during the festive season last year.
Most of these tins in which the problem arose is confined to say late November, December and early January. This is during the festive period. Now LTA on its part had done the proper thing. They had actually prepared the tins and took it to the post office, and then some of those tins got almost 2 days before the 21 days was to expire, and some may have expired 1 or 2 days later. So it was really out of our control.
Maharaj says an option for them can be to extend the time frame to pay the fines.
Maybe 21 days is too short, and at the moment we are changing the time period in the regulation, LTA regulations, from 21 days to perhaps 60 days. And hopefully the amendment will go to the Parliament in this March sitting.
This news has been welcomed by the drivers.
The 60 days time is very good for the PSV drivers, and I think all the drivers will be happy with it.
60 days is okay for the fine because some fines are too high, you know.
It's a very good idea from LTA.
The Minister for Justice and Anti-Corruption says fines delivered late are defective and all such records must be withdrawn from LTA records and the courts. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
The current national minimum wage rate of $2.32 per hour will be reviewed soon. Employment Minister Chone Usamate says the government had already agreed to review the minimum wage rates at regular intervals. Kelly Vadala reports.
The national minimum wage rate was increased from $2 to $2.32 in 2015. The government is now working on relooking at the rate.
So the Cabinet has already taken the decision to go back to its original decision to keep on revising the minimum wage. That process has now been in place, and advertisement has been put in the papers, sourcing a consultant.
The national minimum wage rate is applicable to unskilled workers and those workers who are not captured under any formal wage council regulations. Chone Usamate says they will be reviewing different sectors separately.
We have wage regulation orders for different sectors, hospitality sector, security sector and so forth. So those wage regulation orders will also be re-examined and reviewed.
Fijians have welcomed the decision, saying it will come as a relief to many of those living under the poverty line.
Can't depend on the wages, the same wages. After 2-3 years, all the prices are going up. Prices are not going down, you see. So I reckon that the wages should go up.
If we increase the wage rate, then maybe people will try and live comfortably.
Minimum rate that we used to have before, it's so low that most people cannot afford the cost of living.
Fiji Commerce and Employers Federation Chief Executive Nasbit Hazelman says any minimum wage review should come through the Employment Relations Advisory Board, who in turn will inform the minister. He also says the Federation is looking forward to any discussions of the review. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
The deliberate overloading of vehicles needs to be addressed immediately, says the Fiji Roads Authority. Overloading has been an issue for some time now, and the FRA says if this is solved, they can save $30 to $50 million in just maintenance works. The FRA says this can also reduce planned renewal program and save the government up to $120 million in annual future maintenance bills. For even 1 ton overload on an axle, the pavement life reduces for 20 to 30 years. LTA statistics show that over half the vehicles that they managed to weigh were overloaded. Still ahead, women aim to qualify for annual expo. And word of mouth marketing helps business thrive.
कमल रोशनी है, हम लोगों में रहते हैं और मिर्ची एफएम सबसे बेस्ट स्टेशन है।
हमारा नाम मेसी है, हम गोल्ड टाउन तापुआ में रहता है और मिर्ची इज हॉट इन तापुआ।
Hi, we bad girls. We love Mirchi FM because it's hot.
निवेश तावरा में रहता है, सुनता है यहाँ मिर्ची एफएम is very hot.
Mirchi FM.
The Ministry of Women would like to see more women from the Ba province qualify for this year's National Women's Expo. Minister Mereseni Vuniwanga has been championing this message and encouraging women to take advantage of this initiative. Ellen Stoltz tells us more.
After being certified with her Fijian crafted sticker years ago, Merewalesi Tualau has been selling her traditional mangi-mangi belts in both the Nandi and Lautoka handicraft markets.
I just want to tell the women, no, at the age we can still earn money, help the family, especially help our grandchildren and for these days.
President of the Mba Women's Forum, Dr. Maria Dotton, says if these handiwork get approved by the Fiji Arts Council and the Ministry of Industry and Trade, it will open up more doors for these talented women.
Those products that are fit us to identify with Fiji, so made in Fiji products, sewn in Fiji products, handicrafted in Fiji, So we are expecting that through that, these women will be economically empowered. And that is our main aim, is for them to get a market.
Rizwana Shabna has a small business sewing bags and aprons from her home in Wailolo in Nandi, and aims to get her Fijian sewn sticker for her work.
Yeah, we're trying because we wanted to sell it in other places like a supermarket, like handicraft. We want to do it, but we're trying our best.
Last year's theme for the expo was connecting women to markets, which these women have acted on and are striving towards this year. Ellen Stoltz, FBC News.
148 schools will be closed tomorrow to mark the Holi celebrations. Education Minister Dr. Mahendra Reddy says the ministry is working on inculcating cultural programs in the curriculum. Reddy says the festival gives an opportunity to students to play with colours and unite with friends and families.
The curriculum. Our school syllabus, particularly to primary schools, dwell fairly on various aspects of culture and tradition in Fiji, which I believe is a stepping stone to a peaceful and prosperous society. Ladies and gentlemen, Holi is a time to play with colours. Colours which makes our life bright and enjoyable. It is a time for mixing of the colours to unify us into one, Fijians.
A secret recipe, a great business plan, the support of family and loved ones, and a vision to succeed has been the driving forces behind a new, hugely popular restaurant in Nandi. Tonight, in our Successful Fijian segment, we share with you a story of how one man's authentic take on fish and chips has become the talk of the town in the Western Division. Ellen Stoltz with a success story.
Successful Fijians is brought to you by the Fiji Development Bank, your partner in progress.
From afar, it looks like just another fish and chips joint, but one taste of their tantalizingly crispy and fresh food and you're hooked. Being a chef for 17 years, Ashwan Singh decided to hang up his apron and start up his own business in 2000. Opening up a small store and a car wash on his property came first. Then slowly the idea of owning his own restaurant.
Evening I call my friends, maybe about 10-15 people to come and try my fish and chips. I cook it at home inside, I let them eat, and they ask me when you going to open it. But that's after maybe 2 weeks. I built the kitchen, a small kitchen with one staff. I did fish and chips. The first day, only people who ate fish and chips here, the one who was doing the cover. Time I've got about 2 tables, increased little bit, 4 tables, 6 tables. Now I've got about 74 seaters.
After a few years, Singh's wife inspired him to focus on one main source of revenue, Switching his time and attention on the expansion of the restaurant, he closed the car wash and began perfecting his secret recipe.
The person who teach me this, he's passed away. He's a German chef, Joseph. He passed away about 15 years now. I learned from him. And after that, I left cooking. I was in the shop. When it comes to mind to open fish and chips and do only this one, his recipe and his banks and his goals.
On a regular day, Singh can be found in the kitchen, working hard alongside his 8 staff. And he says while the company is doing well, he has more ideas for expansion.
I'm trying to build something else here. It only will be the fish, like all my ground fish will be all slide like 250 grams for a slice ready. People will come and show me, I want that, I want that, I want that piece, then I'll cook in front of them. Battered and crumb. I'm thinking of people's health-wise, like it's hot, not much people want to have battered or crumb, it's oily, because it's deep fried. That's why I'm gonna go in there just for the grill of thinking of people's health.
Singh's determined work ethic and bubbly persona has been accredited to the support of his wife and family.
Well, the grill things, and no one doing in Fiji. The fish is there, you point that fish and they will do it. Like if I do this, people can come here and see what I'm doing. They can do similar, something like that. Like people here, like they say they are poor, but no one is poor. If they work hard, people won't be poor.
And the proof, they say, is in the pudding.
It's the best fish and chips. It's different from the other fish and chips I've ever tasted, and it's nice and crispy and fresh, served as you order. So I can't say anything bad about it.
Good and tasty, and we love it. Even my kids, they love. And always when I go for shopping, I always buy the fish and chips.
The one message Singh says he would give budding entrepreneurs is that they should find inspiration in every experience in life, learn and perfect their own craft, and never stop trying. If you fail, he says, get up and keep trying. Ellen Stalls, FBC News.
Successful Fijians is brought to you by the Fiji Development Bank, your partner in progress.
Now up ahead in sports, Fiji braces to play Australia in the Cup quarters. And Lautoka gets a last-minute goal against Suva.
I'm from Nekota and I love listening to Today FM.
My name is Stanley Girdler and I'm from Australia, but I'm part Fijian from Watraki, and I love listening to Today FM Rocks.
For the best music and less talk, we tune into Today FM in Nasalai Village. Today FM rocks.
My name is Inai Ali and I'm from Ba, and I love the big breakfast on Today FM. I just love it and hope you love it too.
My name is Jay from La Paz. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
My name is Naushin and I'm from Sambeto, and I love Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
The Vodafone Fiji Sevens side are through to the Cup quarterfinals of the Vancouver tournament in Canada, despite going down to Argentina 26-24 in the last pool match. Jose Colinisao skippered side will face Australia in the last quarterfinals. Australia qualified as the runner-up after losing to USA in its last pool match. In the other quarterfinals, South Africa takes on Canada, USA plays Argentina, and New Zealand takes on England. If Fiji wins the quarterfinal, they could face New Zealand or England in the semi-finals. The Cup quarter kicks off at 6:08 a.m. and Fiji will play at 7:14 a.m. The Lautoka football side secured a crucial win, beating Suva 1-0 in the Vodafone Premier League match at Ratadakambao Park in Nosori. Zibra Sahib scored the goal through a sport kick in the 44th minute of the second half.
Samuel Adundru comes in with a cross. They collide and it's a handball by Abdul Mohsin combined with Akash Sharma in the 46th minute of play. What a mistake by the two of them. But it touched Abdul Mohsin as he slipped down. It hit his hands. So it's a penalty in the 46th minute of play. It's all about structure and positioning, and that was one of the examples. So Lautoka get a penalty in the 46th minute of play.
And coming up to take it is Zebras for the Lautoka side, and he can home in a victory before he leaves for India probably. Zebra side with a penalty drives and makes Rangara go the opposite way.
RC Champions League defending champions fought back from a goal down to beat Western United 2-1 in its opening pool match. Laced with Solomon Island national wraps, the Western United gave the champions a run for their money. Here are the highlights.
And look at the way that swerved and bent, and then James Naka take that 1-0 Western United. I must say, I didn't think that from that distance a free kick of any type would be of any danger, but Henry Ferroto once again showing just the way it's done. Western had been able to get that on target. Then Darren White equalised again. Talo this time, and Tade sealing victory from the penalty spot.
Fiji-born Samu Kerevi and Eto Nambuli's tries were not enough as the Queensland Reds went down fighting to Crusaders 22-20 in the Super Rugby clash last night. Reds dominated the first half as they led 20 points to 7. The Highlanders secured their first Super Rugby win of the season when they beat the Blues 16-12. Flood and showers were experienced over the northern and central parts of Fiji. Fine weather prevailed elsewhere. Well, it was a hot day in the Western Division. Temperatures ranged between 32 to 34 degrees. And Suva experienced some clouds and showers but remained hot at 32 degrees. In the Northern Division, cloudy conditions prevailed in Savusavu and Lambasa, and both centres recorded 32-degree temperatures. The outlook for tomorrow: don't forget to take your umbrellas and raincoats with you. Occasional showers and thunderstorms over Vanua Levu, Taviuni and nearby smaller islands. The eastern and interior parts of the other larger islands are expected. Elsewhere, showers, especially in the afternoon or evening, with isolated thunderstorms. Looking further ahead, some showers are expected. At sea, easterly winds 15 to 20 knots, moderate to rough seas. The next low tide is at 12:57 a.m. tomorrow, with the high tide at 7:10 a.m. Recapping the main stories: Fiji to face Australia in Cup quarterfinals in Vancouver tomorrow. LTA employees to declare permits. A national minimum wage rate to be reviewed. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station, Gold FM. To our poll question this week, we're asking: will the new malls opening up create more competition? Visit our FPC website to answer. Also send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fpcnews@fpc.com.fj or share it with us via our Facebook page, FPC News. Or you can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FPC News or simply #FPC News. Until next time, good night.
Bula, I'm Ma. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits. Bato Bahai, Gold FM.
I'm Liti. I'm from Singapore. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
I'm Sammy. Here at the Fiji Harry Resort and Spa, we like listening to Gold FM. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Bro. I live in Nandi. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.